3 more races to go, and next up it's Junior Road Tax as one of the drivers. Looks like Tino Sidler having difficulty coming out of the pre-grid. Let's have a look at the starting order for the final race for Junior Road Tax here at Karting Genk. Kai Gilets pretty much has sewn up the title, but it's the battle for second that's going to be really interesting. One of those drivers in that mix is alongside on the front row, Farin Mega from Germany. Tommy van der Struijs and Job Briefeld ran out the top 2 rows. Vic Stevens and Matthias Turlo ran out row number 3. Row 4 is Kees Dams and Austin Lee. Completing the top 10 is Casper Schrommans and Nick Gerhards. Row number 6 is Enzo van den Dickenberg and Montego Masson. Then it's Olivier Jonkers, Tino Sidler, Luc Nielsen. It was Krik Noren that I don't think has managed to get out quite yet out of the pre-grid, due to start 16th. Boluet, Ralph van der Pevert, Lakier on Sorensen, Romans Rodinovs and Puck Gubbles complete the 21-strong grid. Now on to the final formation lap of the season. As they say, it's the calm before the storm, and with 13 minutes on the clock plus an additional lap, expect some fireworks to be set off here at Karting Genk, and that's on the track. Drivers now steeling themselves, getting ready for the final race of the season, and it has been a lengthy journey so far. So the drivers make their way through into turn 11 with Gilets and Mega now starting to control proceedings. They're the ones that set the pace for the rolling start. And it looks like Krik Noren might not be taking the start at the moment, but may be released after they go lights out. Right, out of the final corner, it's a slow trundle towards the tram lines. They split, they go into them. Revs rise, are we ready? Lights are out, and Gilets gets away from the rest, and now the battle resumes as Mega keeps ahead, staying into turn 2 in second position. Tommy van der Struijs looks to be up into P3, stays in P3. And now the battle behind them has really kicked off, and there's been a bit of a tangle. 2 carts off, and one of which is Matthias Turlo. The drama has happened instantly, and Matthias Turlo has a big drama, and Austin Lee now battling away with looks to be Nick Gerhards. And that is for effectively 5th position. Casper Schrommans is just behind, so Matthias Turlo has been unceremoniously had the rug pulled from underneath his feet. So Gilets leads ahead of Mega, van der Struijs, Briefeld. Running at the top 4, Nick Gerhards and Austin Lee. Well, it was Austin Lee until Vic Stevens had something to say about it. And now Stevens up into 6th position ahead of the German driver. Casper Schrommans just behind. Montego Masson up into 9th. Tino Sidler has made significant inroads and is now up into P10. Krik Noren did get released from the dummy grid after the lights went out and the start was given. And Matthias Turlo down in 20th position, a little bit further back. Van den Dickenberg and Sidler nearly came to contact going through into turn number 9. And both lucky enough to avoid it. As Schrommans has got past Austin Lee, who's now coming into the clutches of Montego Masson. These two used to compete against each other in RMC. Well, they did compete against each other last year and this year in the Road Tax Max Challenge Germany Championship. which concluded its season last weekend at Vickenborn. And there goes Van der Sloijs up the inside of Mega through turn 6. Van der Sloijs again finding some great pace in the 254. The Tony Kart chassis these days, running with Combi Kart Racing Team. So just under 10.5 minutes remain in this race, and points are still up for grabs. And now the hunt begins for the race lead. For those in second and third, just keeping an eye on Job Rietveld. Rietveld is running to within 1/100th of Van der Sloijs, as Van der Sloijs just sets the fastest lap. Gap between first and second now just under 4.5 tenths. Leaders now making their way through turn 7 as the fights carry on, going down the Europolaan. In some cases, 4 carts line astern who can't be separated. And Tino Sidler battling away with the likes of Olivier Jonkers and Luc Nielsen, and Van den Dickenberg just up ahead. And that is for 11th on the road. So the gap between the top 2 was nearly 4.5 tenths, is now down to 3.5 tenths as Job Rietveld now sets the fastest lap. Rietveld puts in a 56.011, the fastest lap of anybody. Expect the lap times to go into the high 55s not too far from now. The battle for second position is a 3-cart scrap at the moment. It could be 4 if Rietveld catches them hand over fist, and there's still 8 3/4 minutes to go of this race, plus an additional lap, so it's all to play for. Luc Nielsen now past Tino Sidler for 13th position. No other positions changed in any exchanges in this last lap. We're about to complete lap number 5. But Rillert's looking to cap off what has been an incredible year for the youngster from Belgium, 15 years of age. He's won the Rotax Max Euro Trophy this season, the International Trophy at Le Mans. The BMC is pretty much assured to be his, and now he's looking for a 4th, respective either one-off event or title, to add to the illustrious list of successes he's had this season. The Van der Sloijs is showing that we will have someone else at the sharper end of the field, but in the meantime, Van der Sloijs has been passed by Farin Mega for second position on the road. Rietveld is now with them, and Rieveld's gone into the 55s. As has Farin Mega. I did say it might not take long. And the 2 of Mega and Rietveld, second and 4th respectively, now have a bit of pace to bring themselves into contention for what looks to be a very, very close encounter. And it's a second between the top 4, from front to rear bumper. Rillert's just doing everything just to keep the kart in one piece, not make any mistakes, bring the kart home. There's now Van der Sloijs in the slipstream of Farin Mega down the Europolaan, into turn 7, the chicane, now into the right at 8. Rietveld was 4/10ths of a second, looks to be a lot closer than that this time, as they now make their way down the short straightaway into turn number 10, the right-hander. Brings them into 11 before one more corner remains of this 1,360-metre circuit. Rillert's has pretty much commanded proceedings thus far, as we are halfway through the race. And it's still a second between the top 4 as Van der Sloijs trying to find an opportunity to get past Farin Mega. But whilst that's happening, Job Rietveld is closing in on them. Rillert's now sets the fastest lap of the race, 55.887 seconds. Top 15 as it stands at the moment is Rillert's, Mega, Van der Sloijs, Rietveld, Stevens, Schomans, Gerhards, Ostenly, Montego Massen, Bollouet, Olivier Jonkers, Luc Nielsen, Tino Sidler, Days Dams and Ralph van der Pevert complete the top 15. Provisionally scoring them some points to see out the season. Mathis Torolo is also running in the 55.9s, but he's down all the way in 20th position, not the way that the Dutchman would have wanted to have finished this campaign. Because could that have been the difference? As now Van der Stroys up the inside of Mega. Breedveld has now joined the fray and is right up the exhaust pipe of Farin Mega as they go through into turns 4, now into 5. Oh, and a little bit of a touch from behind from Breedveld on Mega, probably because of the way that Van der Stroys went through the corner. Sometimes you can't always evade that. 5 minutes still to go. We're on lap number 9 of this race. And Villets now has a bit more daylight. The gap was 6/10. Could be more like 8 at the end of this lap. So out of the final corner, Kai Villets leads the field once again onto lap number 10. Across the line he goes, and it's a 55.855 from him. And it's close, it's 4/10 between second, third and fourth. Van der Stroys versus Mega versus Breedveld. And Farin Mega up the inside of Tommy Van der Stroys. That opens the door. Oh, Breedveld nearly got compromised there as the pair of Mega and Van der Stroys gesticulating at each other there, I think. They need to concentrate on racing. That's exactly what Job Breedveld is doing. He's now gotten past Tommy Van der Stroys. Now Van der Stroys trying to put the boot on the other foot through turn 10. The 254 gets through. So now it's all started to spread out a little bit here because now Gilles has a lead of 1.7 seconds and he's checking out. Van der Stroys and Breedveld still embroiled in that battle as there's a little bit further behind. That was Montego Maassen just being passed by Boluet. Boluet hasn't had the best weekend in the office here at the BNL Karting Series. They've both managed to get past Austin Lee, who rounds out the top 10. A little bit further ahead, Casper Schomans and Nick Gerhard's battling tooth and nail for 6th position. And it's 2 teammates. Nick Gerhard's closing in on Casper Schomans, going through into turn 10 into the braking zone. Turn the kart in, rotate it, put the power back down, and then it's again consistent sideways lateral movement in these Mojo tyres. Drivers have to compensate with. It's Farin Mega still holding on to 2nd position. And it was a fraction between him and Tommy Van der Stroys as Job Breedveld looking to take a title line going through turn 6, and Van der Stroys read that was happening. So we've got 2 minutes plus an additional lap of this race and of the season still to go. And Gilles continues just to do what he needs to, do exactly the amount to keep ahead, but the battle for 2nd position really heating up between Farin Mega and now Tommy Van der Stroys. Job Breedveld now languishing a little bit further behind as they go through turn number 5. Battle for 2nd still not over. Mega just keeping his head down, trying to stay ahead of Tommy Van der Stroys. Breedveld could start catching in the dying moments. As we're into the last 60 seconds of the season, Gilles crosses the line. This will be the penultimate lap of the race and of the season. Lap number 14 out of 15. Second, far from being decided yet. A little bit further back, some great battling here. That is between the 2:16 of Olivier Jonkers and Thijs Daams. As now Van der Stroys gets past Farin Mega for second position. That happened down the Europolaan. Now Job Briefeld has caught them back up once more. 10 seconds on the clock remains. And the final lap board of the season is going to be shown to Kai Gilles, who now comes through the apex of turn number 12. One more lap remains for the 274 from JJ Racing. As Briefeld trying to go alongside Farin Mega, but Mega not wanting to have any part of that at all. He's still fixated on trying to get past Tommy van der Stroys, who retains second position for the moment, but Briefeld might be gunning for another top 3 finish. He took 2 yesterday. Takes a differing line and goes round the outside of Farin Mega. Oh, they bump wheels, they rub, there's smoke. And Farin Mega keeps the position. And Job Briefeld went round the outside, had great traction and could have managed to get round the outside, but they clashed. But just 2 more corners remain. It's been a season that he will never forget in his racing career, because out of the final corner, it's championship time, because Kai Gilles celebrates. He knows he's got the job done. Tommy van der Stroys, the sigh of relief after that, taking second. Farin Mega takes third. A little bit of frustration seeping then for Job Briefeld, who could have gotten another top 3 finish. 5th place goes to Vic Stevens. Casper Schormans rounds out the top 6 ahead of Nick Gerhards, Boluet, Montego Masson, Austin Lee, who completes the top 10 and rounding out the 21 strong here in Junior Rotax. It's Thijs Daams, Olivier Jonkers, Luke Neeson, Tino Sidler, Lake Ron Sorensen, Ralph van der Pevert, Matthias Turlo, ending up in 17th after a first lap incident. Enzo van den Dickenberg, Romans Rodinovs, Park Gubbels and Krik Knoren rounding out the 21 that have finished the race, all of them making it to the end of 15 laps. But Kai Gilles is your 2021 BNL Karting Series Junior Rotax champion.